Hey friends, we're checking in again. It's been about 2 or 3 days. I think it's just been 2 days since we did this rearranging and feeding, and have been trying to kind of light migrate the remaining worms out of here. And I have to say, it's been 2 days, and I am just so pleased with the progress. I've had this window open, which I don't normally leave open. And I usually have these windows for the dogs open. But I've been letting a lot of light flood in here. And at night, we've had this light on, just giving some additional light to move them even quicker. And it has worked marvelously. So I'm going to do a harvest because I really need to start some seedlings, and I think this is going to help a lot. And just on first glance, you guys can see I made like a little pile of the avocado shells that I had been using originally to bait them, because they're starting to dry up anyways, but there's not really anybody in them. There's just a little compost in them, but there's nothing, I just kind of stacked them together. There's nobody in them or anything. So that helped give them less opportunity of places to linger in. And what I've been doing is this is plastic, this is silicone, but I've been using the plastic here to just kind of scrape gently and, I don't say agitate the area, but kind of agitate the area, mix it up, make little piles and whatnot, just to help entice them to vacate this tier. And this is black gold. This is what everybody pays a premium for their gardens. It looks like I got one little guy here. We'll move him in a minute. Hey, you little friend. We got one little guy here who doesn't look like he's moving much, but we'll just leave him right here for now. He looks pretty lethargic, so he could just be napping or trying to move, and I disrupted him. But otherwise, I don't see any worms, and you guys saw the video the other day. There were a lot more worms than I would have liked in here. So I have this new bin that I got from Home Depot that's a little bit bigger. Let's see, it's an 18 quart, has a nice lid, and I wanted a lid that was pretty sturdy, so that way the harvest doesn't dehydrate, because I've had that problem in the past, and that's not good from what I understand from the microbial level. So we're gonna harvest and see how much we get. Okay, friends, it's been about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little longer. I'm just enjoying the process, so I'm trying not to look at the time. We have our 18 quart bin that is about a third of the way filled with castings, which is so exciting. And that's all from this layer. I used my silicone spoon to not hurt anybody, and I'm not worried about getting every drop out of here, because it is helpful when starting the next bin, or the restarting this tier. But I did want to share a few things with you guys. One, obviously I'm indoors. I'm in my kitchen. My kitchen's right here. This is my chest freezer. Dogs are here. So I didn't have to use any sifters. I didn't have to, it was mostly just time. We let the worms naturally finish this off and then migrate. And sure, we help them migrate a little bit just to speed up the process, but we didn't have to do that. But I wanted to show you guys how nice the castings are. I didn't sift them, and I don't think I really need to. They're really beautiful. They have great moisture content level. Really, the only thing that's in here is like some random eggshells and stuff. But I've been trying to make sure that as I was mentioning earlier, it's been about 20 minutes since I took them from here to here. And yeah, you could have just dumped this in here and called it a day, and it would have taken you 2 minutes. But what I've been doing is just trying to make sure that I get all of the worms out of here, and arguably more important, depending on I think who you ask, are the eggs, because I have a lot of these little baby worms in here. But look at all of these little eggs. So this pile here is, you know, I'll stand back for context here. This small little pile is all of the worms and the eggs that were left in here. But can we just take a minute to appreciate how many eggs are in here? There are a lot of eggs, and the eggs are these little yellow kind of orangey pieces or bubbles almost that you're seeing. And so they stand out so easy in here. You can see one right here. With this finished compost, that's, you don't have to sift them to get them out. You can just pick them up. It's very simple, and I'm sure I didn't get all of them. Obviously, I'm talking and I'm still pulling them out. But I wanted to just mention to you guys why I'm doing it, because I suspect I'm not the only one who does this. But when I started, let's just say, this hot frog, not my little baby practice composter, but this hot frog with its 2 trays almost a year ago, not quite, or still a couple months, let's say 8 or 9 months ago. I started with the 250 or 500 worms. Like I started, I think with this 250 originally. It takes months for them to double in size, and then double again, and then double again. And that's assuming all the conditions are right, and they're having the right food and the right conditions, and you're not, you know, making newbie mistakes like I'm sure we all do, myself included. So for these little eggs, I want to keep them because let's say each egg has, I don't know, let's be conservative and say 3 worms per egg. That is a lot of future worms right here. There's dozens of eggs in here that I have pulled up. Dozens. So that's free worms essentially. And yeah, you could throw them out into your yard and whatever. They'll be part of the ecosystem out there. Maybe they live, maybe they don't. But in my mind, I spend so much time, you know, cultivating all these eggs and worms and making them happy and wanting to reproduce. I would really like to be able to continue to do harvests like this and continue my bins growing on a quick level. So for me, if I can easily just run my hands through here and visually see any eggs that might be in here, which I mean you can tell obviously I pulled quite a few out, but you know they stand out really easy. It's not super hard to see them. Here's a close-up of them. See, super easy. I think it's worth it, and it's very therapeutic. You can put some music on, you can listen to the news, I guess, if you really wanted to, but getting your hands in the soil, dirt, compost, whatever we want to call this, is very relaxing. And seeing all of your future little worms, I don't know, I think it's worth your time. So this is how I harvest, and I did have a smaller container in the past, like a shoebox size container from the Dollar Tree, or the dollar section, maybe a Walmart, and it did not hold all the castings. So I knew for my second casting harvest in here for my hot frog that I needed a bigger container because we're just getting that many castings, which is a good problem to have. So I picked this up from Home Depot, less than $10 if I recall correctly, and I intend to use the castings pretty quickly. Like I said, I have some seedlings I'd like to get started, and so I want to work this in, but make sure if you're storing your castings and not using them right away that they're in a container that retains the moisture levels, because that's what keeps some of that healthy bacteria and microbiota, the healthy bacteria and microbes that are in here. It helps keep them alive. So I'm going to cover this up and stop playing with it as much as I enjoy it, and I keep finding eggs, but you know, I already got piles of them, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with the rest of this for now. So just, yeah, look at all these little eggs, you guys. I'm so excited. It's like Easter all over again, but no sugar. So while we were working on that, I just put the cover on this tier. I believe this is tier 3, just so, yeah, they don't have anybody wandering off in places they shouldn't be. So let me just, oops. All right, well, there's some worms in there, but they'll figure it out. So for now, and just because we just fed these the other day, I'm not gonna worry about them too much. This literally got fed 2 days ago. I am just going to take the avocado shells from the current worm bin that we're emptying out, the harvesting of, I guess that's tier 2. And I'm just gonna put them in here for now. They're pretty dried out. They've been used for a while now. So I'm not gonna break them down any further. I'll let them take care of it. But all of this, I'm just gonna dump in here gently, making sure everybody goes into their new home. I have to use my fingers on this a little bit. Some of the little babies, like, yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell how small some of these are here, but they're very little. I don't want them to hurt themselves on anything. In fact, I should probably wash this plate. Make sure I get everything in there. So now, bin 3 hopefully has some nice new friends, and I mean all of the eggs. Look at all those beautiful eggs. I love how cute they are. Nice little yellow dots. Hopefully they'll harvest, or they'll hatch soon, and we'll have some great new additions in this bin. And this is going to be, let's see, this is the next oldest bin, although it hasn't been going that long. Obviously it still has ways to go, so I'm happy to populate this bin a little bit further, because it's still got a couple months to go before it's ready anyway. So these guys will be hatched and nearly adults by that point. And then for now we will leave this empty bin on top in the event that there's any stragglers. And then I'm just gonna go get excited about using my new castings. I'll show you guys again here really quick, just from a distance a little bit more. There you go. Nice castings, beautiful castings. Gonna go out in my yard and plant some healthy, good crops with these, hopefully. All right, guys, it was a quick harvest, and I am thankful for that. There was no sifting harvest. It was great. And if you're new to the hot frog, I have a whole playlist dedicated to all of my feeds, so you can get a sense of what I feed, my more established layers, my newer layers. So I hope you find that helpful. And if you have questions, feel free to drop them down below. I'm by no means a novice, but I'm somewhat of a better idea what I'm doing now that we're coming up on a year. And if nothing else, there's a lot of people who watch this that do know what's going on, and they can probably help us troubleshoot whatever problems you're having. Thanks for watching, guys.